All right.
Rolling.
What's up, y'all? My name is Ian Edwards, and welcome to the Comic Rant. This podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, OnTheValleyApparel.com. Go to their website and check out some of their gear. And use my promo code Comic Rant, you get 20% off. Tanks, tees, hoodies, sweatshirts, men and women. Go to OnTheValley.com. Check it out. This podcast is on allthingscomedy.com. Go to that website, and I'm there with a bunch of other comics, and we all got different styles of podcasts, different topics of podcasts. Bill Burr is there, Al Magical is there, Bert Kreischer is there. Bert has his podcast with Bill Burr there, and there's Date Fails with Kate Quigley. There's just so many other podcasts on there. So go to All Things Comedy website and check out those podcasts. And my name is Ian Edwards. This is Soccer Comic Rant. And I want to thank my producer, Aaron Brungardt, for setting this up. He does that every week. And here is Martin Harris from 442 Magazine. He's a guest and co-host. And you've also seen him in the movie The Hunt and does voices for video games. And something like, what's the name of the last game you was doing today, Martin?
Oh, the one today I can't say, but in the past, I did Call of Duty, and I did a bunch of Marvel films as well. I have actually a film coming out next month that I did a voiceover for called Tenet, and it's by Christopher Nolan, and the lead is Denzel Washington's son, and apparently it's an amazing film. I mean, I liked it. Personally, I've seen it. I've liked it. I think it's a game changer because it's one of those movies that you might have to watch several times to understand secret messages. It's like a puzzle. It's like a piece of puzzles that you have put together. You know, so it's innovative. It's a kind of innovative concept. So, and people already talk about it. The trailer is amazing. So I think it's worth watching. It will be in theaters in July.
Last time you said a movie was going to be game-changing. It was The Hunt, and it got delayed twice. And then the COVID happened.
They put it out.
Then they put it out, but everybody was home, so nobody could go see it. So don't jinx it. And why can't you say anything about the game that you were doing the voiceover for today?
Oh, I'm did NDAs. I can't really talk about it. So.
Oh, okay.
I just want to pop on real quick and say that I was going to go watch The Hunt at a drive-in movie theater. But it was the first night of the curfew, and so I couldn't go.
Oh, where is there a drive-in movie?
It's out in Montclair. It's like an hour east of where I live, anyway.
Yeah. I'm from Long Island, and there used to be a drive-in movie theater at Westbury. So if that movie theater is open now still, then they'll make a killing in this time. Yeah. But I always had fun going there. All right, thanks, Aaron. So even Aaron didn't see The Hunt, bro.
But he says he will, so I'm hoping. All
right, we'll see.
Did you see it?
No. I got every platform. I'm waiting for it to come on one of those platforms.
It will. For sure.
Know?
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for it to come on one of those platforms. And I gotta save my money for Fox. What is it? Not for ESPN Plus for next season.
ESPN Plus, and there'll be more stuff. I think they do some sort of merge with Disney. I think there'll be an offer when there's a merge between ESPN Plus and Disney for some discount. That's what I heard recently. Hopefully that's the case. And
for games?
No, for like that you can get both on a discount, ESPN Plus and Disney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, channel. I've heard that rumor, but let's see what's the TV landscape after all that. I mean, will be football back? What will happen with the NBA? I mean, we'll get to that because it looks, I'll tell you one thing that worried me very, very much.
Right.
And I'm going to say it only once. In Europe, they handled it perfectly. Everything is almost back in most of the countries, or will be back within the next 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
American leagues, I just saw data from today, from last week in Los Angeles. It spiked 3-4 times to the worst days. the number of infections, the number of deaths, and now they're opening. This makes no sense because for 3 months, me and you, we're very, very serious about it. We stayed home, we did all the right things, but some people did it, and there was no punishment for it. Like in Poland, there was punishment for it. Here, pretty much anyone could do whatever they want. Even during the curfew, people were walking out. I live right next to the street. Even during the curfew, absolutely no discipline whatsoever. And then we see the result that 3 months later, Poland, Germany, even Italy are semi back to normal or back to normal. And here, record number of infections, the highest number ever. And how LAFC and Galaxy can resume? They can't.
Well, we'll see what happens. Like I'm kind of confused. Like throughout this whole thing, I've had like, originally I was like, all right, COVID is real. Be careful. Don't get it. Don't go out unless I have to. And then as time goes on, I start to like waver. Like, is this thing as dangerous as they say it is? And even the CDC and the government are pulling back on some of the things that they said. But numbers are still going up. People are going out now. They're protesting. There was looting. There was cities opening back up. So I'm just going to sit back and check out the numbers and see what's up before I make any call. Yeah, that's why I'm still zooming in the podcast and everything.
I got the numbers. The numbers from today is 1,178 new cases and 52 new deaths, which is both records. In Los Angeles.
52 deaths for the week, for the day, for the what?
For the day. In California total, in LA, 1,100 new infections, almost 1,200. 52 deaths. In California total,
what?
2,290 deaths.
In California?
Yep.
So what state was the first number you read off? What was that?
LA, just LA County.
And then you said California was the second.
Yes.
So LA had 52 deaths. California had 90 something.
Yep.
Okay. But this week or yesterday, like when?
Yesterday.
Just in a day, 52 deaths?
That's what it says. Let me try one more time.
Mm-hmm.
I will. It says yesterday. The question is it yesterday from yesterday or yesterday from a week? I have to check it out. But even in a week, it's pretty bad. It's bad.
All right. So I'm still going to limit. I went out to one protest, but I'll still limit my contact. And I've been hanging out with like one person or two, just a little bit. And I've been less like squeamish, but we'll see. We'll see what's up. But like you said, they were doing it well in Europe, and Europe soccer is like playing. Like Germany, they're still doing their thing right now. And England is about to open up like a week from today or something like that.
Premier League? A week, yes, within a week. And Spain, I think Spain and Italy is next within like 10 days, yeah.
Is La Liga tomorrow or next week? Let me just.
I think it's next week. I think they're playing something, and they're already playing friendly games in England. As a matter of fact, your team was supposed to play a game either, I think, today or tomorrow. But it got canceled because one of the Stoke, they had a friendly game against Stoke. One of the Stoke players got coronavirus tested. Positive, yeah. So they canceled. They waited. So
I'm looking at La Liga matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to the Stoke thing. And today is what day? Tuesday?
Tuesday, yeah.
This says Thursday, 6/11, Sevilla versus Real Betis.
All right.
So then Thursday, La Liga starts, and Friday, and the whole weekend, La Liga's back. It's back.
It
like
actually
2 days from now, yeah.
Thursday, right. Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, yeah. You're right.
What channels show La Liga? Is it a Gold TV or?
It used to be Bein Sport, but I think right now, but I think it moved to ESPN. Not sure, but I think it did, and it's actually ESPN Plus, I think.
Oh, damn!
If it is or not.
Or is it moving next season to ESPN Plus?
Trying to figure that out.
Let's see too.
I think it's ESPN.
Let me see. So what channel is it? Says, I think it still says beIN.
Okay.
Yeah. It still says beIN. Shit. All right. Or maybe I'll have to like kind of bootleg view it. We'll see.
Yeah, it is on beIN and Fubo. Sorry, and it's on Fubo as well.
Fubo?
Yeah.
Football? Yeah, all right.
Fubo.
Cool. Yeah, so I heard about the thing you just mentioned about a Stoke player has corona, so Manchester United friendly canceled. But I heard it was the Stoke coach.
Oh.
I read later on, I went on the BBC.com. And at first I thought, why are they being so vague about who actually had the corona? And then I went to BBC.com and said, Stoke manager O'Neill tests positive for COVID-19. The good thing is their Stoke players and team never came in contact with the Man U players. They were in a reception area, and I forgot what part of the establishment it is where they test the players once they come on board the grounds, and they test them in that area, and then they let them, go further into the grounds if they don't have it. But this person / coach had it and ruined it for Man U. And I'm excited to see Man U too, because like at the beginning of last season, I wanted Man U to buy Bruno Fernandes, and I wanted to see Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba playing together. And I feel like if Bruno Fernandes had come sooner, we would at least be in fourth right now. Now we have to get into fourth, and but it's still going to be exciting to see a fresh Pogba, uninjured, fit, playing with a Bruno Fernandes who has adapted, and we got to figure out. Sosa has to figure out how to make these players work together, but we have ammo. You know what I mean? We have bench, and we're going to need them because games are going to be coming quick and fast and on top of each other, and players are going to need to rest. But we have a fully fit squad, and I think most of the teams in the league have a fully fit squad. But we feel like we just bought a player with Pogba coming back on top of the player we bought right before this.
Yeah, and there are more players linked. The first game you play is our first game. We play together. Our teams are playing together as the first game. So, which the pandemic in a weird way also worked well for my team, because we had so many players injured and now they're all healthy, including Harry Kane
and Son.
And Son, yeah, it was a clear danger they won't be able to play till the end of the season. Right. And guess what? The season would have ended if everything went smooth without a break. But because right now we're pretty much playing on a borrowed time. It's March schedule, played in June. We bought time. Like the pandemic, the pandemic got some people sick, very sick in the world. But for the Spurs, it got actually players healthy
right
for the next game. So yeah.
Same with Man U, same with Aston Villa, because they get back McGinn, and just any team that had players who are going to be done for the season can now play out the end of the season. So that's a good thing. It's almost like when the season starts. You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the season. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what a fully fit Man U does against a fully fit Spurs.
I mean, fully fit is a little bit exaggeration, because it's hard to maintain really top shape if you don't play for 3 months. So I think even in Germany, and they had a shorter break, much shorter break, we've seen injuries. I am afraid in Spain And in England, we'll see a lot more of injuries, unfortunately.
I mean, I think I was watching one of the games, and they were like, I don't know if there's that many more injuries than normally would occur. And I know a lot of people are looking at that, but I don't know if I've seen that. All I know is some good-ass, sharp German football, full of technique, with speed.
It's good.
And, let's hope Ollie is doing the right thing with these guys, and, we can get our shit together. Like I was reading today that they added this kid from he's a defender. I forgot his name. I have to look him up, to the playing squad or to the practice squad with the first team. It's like an African dude. I have to look his name up. But yeah, well, I guess we're going to be using substitutes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I know. Are we going to do the same thing in the Premier League as the 5 substitutes that they're doing in the German league? Mm-hmm. And is Italy going to be doing that? And is Spain going to be doing that when they start back up?
Yeah.
All right, cool. What do you think of Spurs' chances versus Man U now?
When I see first game, I'll tell you what I think.
All right,
it was such a weird break, and they just started training together last week. I mean, anything can happen. I think in Germany, it didn't change the kind of order too much. I think the teams that were supposed to be better are better. There are a couple of surprises. I think Fortuna Düsseldorf was a surprising team, but the teams that were struggling before, they kind of continue to struggle, including like Werder Bremen, and the teams that were great like Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich so far won every game.
Yeah, and they've created like a gap.
Yeah, So it's pretty much representable to what their actual qualities are. So the Bundesliga shows that there's not that many surprises, not that many kind of fluke results. Let's see if that's the same case with Premier League. If that will be sort of a similar level to what we expect from those teams. If that's kind of a similar level, I would expect us to have a draw against United. Yes.
And where's the game being played at? Man U or Spurs?
I think it's at Spurs. Let me check.
Oh, good.
That means it doesn't matter.
It does matter because you lose your home court advantage, and that'll be great. Like if you played us at our home, right, and we won, right? So now we go to play you guys at your home, but you have no advantage.
Yeah, but we actually played pretty bad at home, so I think it evens out. Let me see. Yep, it's on Friday, June 19th, 12:15 p.m. Tottenham, Man U.
I'll take that. First game. Yeah. I should look up the schedule of Premier League.
Yeah, it's not that this week. It's the following week though. So we'll have time for that.
Yeah, we'll have time. I just want to just interested in some of because I keep telling Lloyd, my homeboy, that I need Villa to beat Sheffield United. Because Sheffield United is right behind us on the table, breathing down our necks. So I need them to beat them. And I haven't even looked at the tables in a long time, period, just to see where everybody's at. Manchester United's in 5th with 45 points. Wolverhampton's in 6th with 43 points. Sheffield United is 7th with 43 points. Spurs, 8th with 41 points behind Sheffield, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Manchester United.
I forgot about that.
And Arsenal is right on your ass. They are 9th with 40 points. And then Burnley is 10th with 39 points. So shit is going to be cray, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because, for example, Norwich, I'm pretty sure they were praying secretly of the same solution that it happened in Holland and France when they decided to call off the rest of the games and freeze the tables. So the teams that were pretty much relegated or close to relegation didn't get relegated. And if they did the same in England, Norwich would be safe. But in this case, I don't think they will be. I don't think they have a chance to stay up.
Well, they got to stay of execution. You know what I mean? Like by now, if they would have been relegated, they would be preparing.
No.
I said if they got to stay of execution. By now, under normal circumstances, they would have been relegated already.
Yeah.
They would be preparing for a championship season.
Yeah.
But now, like that has been delayed, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But I'm sure that they were counting that maybe there's a chance that they're gonna just stay for another year.
Nah. I mean, they may. Let me see where they're at. Like, listen, they're completely within range. What is there? 9 games left?
Yeah.
So they are 20th, which is dead last.
Yep.
Right? Their feet are on the bottom of the ocean. They can walk on it. That's how low they sunk. And they have 21 points. Aston Villa has 25 points, and they're right above them. And
they have one game left, though. So they'll play one more game.
Yeah. Villa has a game in hand. Right. And Bournemouth has 27 points. And Watford has 27. West Ham has 27. Like, all teams that aren't doing good. West Ham ain't doing great. Watford ain't doing great. Bournemouth ain't doing great. Villa ain't doing great. So 21 points with 9 games left. Like, they just need a run.
6-point difference between safe zone in 9 games. That's tough. If you don't have a good team, that's really, really tough.
It's tough, but their next game is Southampton. Southampton's all right.
Yeah.
But they ain't, like, the best.
Plus, Norwich were great at home. Like, they were feeding off the fans' energy. They got some big wins, like against City at home. But
Right.
They were pretty much losing everything away. So playing without fans won't help them either.
We'll see. We'll see what they could do, bro. I like Norwich because they play really good football. And I've said this on the podcast before. I've never seen a team lose playing that well. But you know another team like in the German league who plays amazing football and they're at the bottom of the table? I'll tell you. Paderborn, man. Those motherfuckers can ball, son. And
against Borussia, they got just executed. They just got killed.
Yeah.
Killed.
I feel like there's some point in the game when they lose heart. And there's this degree of effort that they lack at a certain point in the game, like to just win stuff in the midfield. And that's when they get killed. But, like, it's not an ugly team to watch. Now, you would think if you watch that game, how much did they lose to Dortmund?
I think like 5-1 or 6-1.
5-1. So you would think, if I tell you some team lost 5-1, 6-1, you'd be like, damn, how shitty did that team play? If you watch the game, you're like, how did this team lose 5 or 6-1? It's crazy. But Norwich is like the same thing. I think on opening day, they had you guys down 2-0 or something like that. And then they ended up losing 3-2.
I think we drew 2-2 against them. And they were leading twice, as I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you ultimately beat them, to be honest.
6-1, Dortmund beat Paderborn. 6-1, yeah.
Yeah, they beat them with a score that makes them seem like there are nobody with any football capabilities on that team. But you have to watch it to see the real story of that game. And, I think with Paderborn, you need scoring pedigree. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they just don't have finishers.
Another team that is really fun to watch is Cologne, because every game there's something going on. Like there's a lot of goals, there's like late goals, and they have this big French striker, Modeste, that sometimes misfires completely, but sometimes scores nice goals.
Right.
Yeah, they're fun to watch, Cologne. Bayern, of course, are great to watch. They really play beautiful football.
Yeah, and we talked about Davis already.
He's an incredible player.
Incredible. Yeah. Dortmund's got an incredible team. They're killing it.
Yeah.
Leipzig, killing it.
Yeah, and Gio Reyna, who is only 17, is making some impact already from the bench.
Right.
And I talked to his father last week, to Claudio Reyna.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he committed to play for US. England tried to snatch him out.
Right.
Because he was born in Sunderland.
Traitor.
His father was playing for Sunderland.
What a traitor.
Yeah. When he was playing for Sunderland, Claudio Reyna, by the way, I talked to him about the documentary, and he said that it's very painful to watch, because he really had a great time at the club, and to see the club pretty much disintegrating itself and being so poorly run. He says it's a great documentary, but I didn't enjoy it at all.
Right, I feel you. Listen, man, I started to hurt watching that documentary, and I have no affiliation with Sunderland, so I get it. But at least Ranier was there when they were in the Premier League and doing
he saved them.
better than
he
they are
scored
now.
2 goals in a crucial game to prevent relegation in like 2002. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right.
He saved them. He says they finished one position above the drop zone.
Hilarious. Something I want to bring up is, let me look at this sheet right here. So we did La Liga, we did Stoke, and the Stoke player having contact.
I just wanted last thing about Bundesliga, and we touched upon it before, but I want to go back to it and say one more thing. For those who are watching or not watching but want to watch, there's plenty of really good young American players in the Bundesliga. Not just Reina, but there's plenty of American talent. Like in no other league, in Bundesliga, there's plenty of good young American players.
Yeah, I think there's more American players in the Bundesliga than in the goddamn MLS. It's so crazy. Last time I was on the show with you, I looked up the players and I read them off, and I was like, and then every time I'm watching a game, I watched a game today. It was Wolfsburg. It was from 2 days ago, but I only got a chance. Wolfsburg versus Werder Bremer. And there was an American forward versus an American defender.
Yeah.
So there's players from America all over the place. You could see where we're going to get our team from.
Yeah, McKinney for Schalke, very talented guy too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them. There's 7-8 players.
Yeah.
In Bundesliga.
Yeah, that's a team. That's the team, and they're getting professional pedigree in a good technical league. So I'll take that. So
it's pretty much the same story always. They play half a season or 1 season in MLS, and they get bought, and they go to Bundesliga when they're 18, 19.
Right. That guy McKennie. I forgot what he
Schalke.
was. Yeah, he was born in Germany.
Yeah.
No. He was born in America. He was born in America. Then his father got a job in a military job in Germany.
Yeah.
And then he used to play American football. So then while he was there, he played football, the real football. And then he made one of those youth teams. And then the father got a job back in America. So he went back to America. But he loved soccer so much, he kept on playing that. And then Schalke kept tabs on him because they were so impressed of what he did on the youth team. And he was playing on the youth team, he was playing 2 ages above his level, above his age. And then they asked him if he wanted to come back. He's back in there. So
yeah, there are a lot of examples like that. For example, Shaquille O'Neal spent, I think, first 10 or first 12 years of his life or portion of it in Germany as well. So he speaks, Shaquille O'Neal speaks German because his father was also military in Germany. Yeah.
All right. And Kobe too. Kobe spoke Italian.
Yeah.
In Spanish. Yeah. So it happens in sports. One of the things I want to look at this list of things that I want to talk about, Raheem Sterling, he had some thoughts on Black Lives Matter and calling out racism. And he was just basically saying that as long, he's racism exists in the Premier League. And it's not just the fans throwing bananas and stuff like that. It's, if you look on the board of teams, there's no Black people. And especially in the coaching ranks, there's no Black coaches.
So there was one we remember when
it's for them to look at.
Remember that black coach we were making fun of like 5 years ago? That was, I think, at Wolverhampton or some other team that they hired him when they already got relegated, and he was like losing every game. And you said it that when you get relegated, you hire a black coach to take all the blame.
I wasn't making fun of him. I was rooting for him, but in a fun way. But I knew he was in a situation where it's like, if he turns around, there's a gun to his head. If he turns back forward, there's a gun to his head. Like, if he turns sideways, there's a gun to his head. Like, they put him in a real gun to his head situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, true.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, there's no, and that has to be fixed. And, like, they showed a chart, like, there's 4 legends, right? There's Sol Campbell, Cole. What's Cole's first? The right back or left back?
Ashley
Cole. But Lampard has a job and Gerrard has a job. And it's just like, even as a black person, I gotta be honest, it's like when you mention, I'm so institutionalized and like brainwashed that when you mention Lampard for a job or Gerrard for a job, I'm like, yeah, they should get a job. And then like all these other guys too that played for the same team, similar teams, or for the British team that were black.
Did he call Dwight York? You don't hear about that.
Right. Like they never, you just don't consider them for coaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not cool.
Thierry Henry wasn't considered for Arsenal job. He's an Arsenal legend. Right. Just like Gerrard is at Liverpool and Lampard got his Chelsea job. But nobody considered Thierry Henry for Arsenal job. And they were looking for a new manager. And he's a manager who was looking for a job. So,
but Thierry Henry has had jobs. He was at Monaco.
Yeah, but I'm saying that when they were looking for a new manager at Arsenal, nobody considered Thierry Henry, and you have
because he just got fired at Monaco,
so he was available.
Yeah, but
Frank Lampard also didn't have any experience.
No, he did at Derby.
So yeah, did he go up with Derby? He didn't go up with Derby.
No, but he had a good record. But I think Thierry Henry took the job at Monaco at the wrong time. I'm not blaming it on him. Like Monaco did good. Then they sell their players and they bring in a big profile coach. It's like Thierry can't play. It's like,
okay, I'll give you another example. Patrick Vieira. When Arsene Wenger lost the job, did they call Patrick Vieira? No, they didn't call Patrick Vieira. Patrick Vieira took a job instead in France. I'm just saying.
But I'm saying the same thing, I'm saying the same thing you're saying. I'm brought it up. Like, I don't know what you're hilarious. It's like, but Thierry Henry, like for Arsenal, right? When the type of coach they needed, like, I don't think Thierry Henry was the type of coach they needed. Like, they got the type of coach that they needed. Like, they needed somebody. Yeah. Arteta's going to do good because he's been under the tutelage of, like, there's racism and there's like people in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, would be fine. I think.
Yeah, I'm not against Vieira. But I think like
good manager too. Because
Let me finish, bro. I think some of the black coaches, when they get an offer, it's a no-win situation, so that when they do a bad job, they never get a chance again. Because there's so few black coaches that when they do bad, everybody knows about it, but everybody doesn't look back at the situation that they were put in and realize nobody could win in that situation. But there's white coaches who can lose and come back and get other jobs. So there is racism. There is a stereotypical view of black players and them not becoming or being good black coaches, and they don't get the chance or the opportunity to fail like white coaches.
Yeah, and yes, I'll still stick to this comparison. When you have Frank Lampard going to Chelsea, getting a chance at the club, he was the legend, and then you have Patrick Vieira, who did a very good job at NYFC. He was very well regarded and very good coach. He wasn't considered for Arsenal job. I think he should have. I think he should have been considered for that.
Yeah, I don't know where he was before that, but if he did good at a club, then he should be considered. Yeah.
He did great. He was very, very well regarded.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's all you need is to be a good coach somewhere. Like, Solskjaer was a good coach in Molde, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then
Not
now
so
he's the
good
head
at
coach
Cardiff,
of.
not so good at Cardiff, but he was good at Molde. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Cardiff might have been a shit situation anyway, because Cardiff is they don't do good in the Premier League. So, but yeah, they took him from a league that's below the Premier League standard and say he won there. He's an ex-player, he's a legend. Boom. So yeah, you got to give some of these black legends a chance for sure. So Sterling was just speaking out on that, and the interviewer was asking him, "Is it going to make your life more difficult to play?" And he's like, "Hey man, when there's racism, I just speak out. I don't care about playing. You know what I mean? Like I'm up for about what is right." So, you know, I like what Sterling has turned into as a player and as a person. Like he's gone from this kid who, like, when he was at Liverpool, what's his face was yelling at him, to coming to Man City, to people say, "Oh, he's a failure," to now winning titles and scoring goals and playing for England, and also responding correctly to a tricky media that tried to paint him a certain way. And he beat the media at their own game. Yeah. So now, once he did that, he's become a spokesperson. Not even like people who normally wouldn't listen to a black player are listening to. So I like what Sterling's doing.
Yeah, he was so scrutinized by tabloids. Like no other player was so scrutinized than Sterling. After they lost to Iceland, there were stories about him having a golden sink or something at his apartment. Yeah, like people were getting inside his house and taking photos of, oh, he's doing lavishing lifestyle. He doesn't really care. And that type of guy led us to losing to Iceland. Like the focus, the hate of tabloid media focused on Sterling. I remember those times. And then 2 years later, it kind of repeated. It was against Sterling. Again, it was Sterling, you know, so he was the scapegoat in a way, but he turned it around and became one of the best players in the league.
Yeah. And won 2 titles and played on the Century team. So we'll see. And then, so I also read something about Man City having strong evidence to refute their suspension that's coming up. Like they had a meeting. I don't know if they had it yet. They had a day in court. So I'm worried about the 2-year suspension being lifted for Man City, because that jeopardizes Man United's Champions League spot next year. Have you heard anything?
I think it can be reduced to 1 year, but I don't think they'll dismiss it. They wanna make a statement. Although, the coronavirus thing changed the landscape completely. Maybe they will just. That could be the only reason, to be quite honest with you, to let it go. Because otherwise, I think they wanted to make a statement. But right now, they're kind of on defense because there's so many things that they have to be figured out, including start of the new season, including the Champions League, what they're going to do with the Champions League, which didn't finish.
Well, they're planning on moving the Champions League to Lisbon, and they play like, let me see. They said there's like 2 stadiums which they can use, and there's hotels they can use. And let's see. I got this article here in front of me. I was reading it before the show started.
Yeah, I read it too. But the problem is, let's say they do it, but then they can't go the full circle of the new season of the Champions League. They'll have to make some redactions because there's just no time in schedule.
Yeah. They're gonna
Euro
cut it down.
2021 next year, so it will be insane.
Yeah, I mean the players have the time off, so it's just gonna be what it is. So I'm just trying to see. UEFA is planning to move the final from Istanbul, where it was due to be held on May 30th, for the new format. The Europa League final, due to be held in Gdańsk, Poland on May 27th, is likely to be moved to Germany. How do you feel about that? Poland loses. I thought, why would they move from Poland when Poland did great with the coronavirus?
Yeah. The league is back. There will be the first country, starting 2 weeks from now, to have 25% of capacity filled with fans in the games. So Germany was the first country to restart. Poland will be the first to restart with actual fans.
Right.
and minister approved it. So they're playing the league right now, and it's good.
And it's good. Have you been watching it?
Highlights.
Oh, okay. Where do you get the
I'm not
highlights?
a big fan of the style of play in Polish league.
What is the style of play in the Polish league?
It's like a second German league, pretty much. That's the level of competition. It's a lot of fighting, not very technical.
Was it like hockey?
It's a little bit like MLS, like the MLS without stars. That's the level of Polish league. MLS, when you take away Zlatans and Velas of MLS, that's the level. Yeah, that's pretty much the level. It's not bad. It's not super entertaining though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you watch a lot of Bundesliga and Premier League, it's a significant drop off.
Right.
For sure. Like I don't watch MLS except when I go to the game. I don't really watch on TV because I watch the highlights, but that's it.
All right.
Talking about MLS, there's one topic.
Oh yeah.
Cover.
All right, let's get to it.
So the national team player of Serbia, Alexander Katai, who played in the European qualifications, and he's actually a very good player. He was one of the stars of Chicago Fire last year, and he signed with Galaxy. A very good contract. He was scheduled to make, because of what happened, he will not. He was scheduled to make $1.5 million this season. Pretty good contract.
Mm-hmm.
And he was living with his wife. They were happy. That's what he told one of his former colleagues from Chicago Fire, who happens to be a good buddy of mine.
Uh-huh.
They were very happy in LA, but it all changed when, during the demonstrations and riots, his wife posted 3 controversial, I would call it dump, posts on Instagram where they were pretty much racist posts. Yeah.
And what? Tell me the tweets.
So those were Instagram photos. First was this photo. There's a famous photo when the police car drives into the crowd of protesters.
Uh-huh.
But she subtitled it, "Kill those shits." And then there was a photo of one of the looters taking Nikes out of a store, and she posted, "Black Nikes matter."
Mm-hmm.
And then she called so-called demonstrators cattle.
Cattle?
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, Galaxy made a statement condemning that and asking to remove those posts, which she did. She changed her Instagram into private, so you can look it up right now.
Right.
He made a statement.
The player.
The player made a statement.
And what's his name again?
Alexander Katai.
Uh-huh.
I will actually pull it out, because it's a very interesting turn of events. So
spell his last name. Katai?
Katai.
Okay, yeah.
So he made a statement that he said that those are not his views, those are his wife's views, and he won't tolerate it in his household. But it didn't help him, didn't save him. And next day he was fired. I mean, they just mutually terminated the contract. He was apparently very apologetic.
Mm-hmm.
But as president of LA Galaxy, Chris Klein, former player, played with Beckham on the wing. Remember those teams? Chris Klein said he said, and those are his words, "It really wasn't that difficult of a decision regarding circumstance."
Damn.
And it's the first time officially that a player is released because of racist comments. And what makes it more complicated, he actually didn't do anything himself. That was his wife.
She definitely shouldn't have tweeted those things. Just on the first tweet alone that you mentioned about the cop cars running over protesters, and she saying kill them, and not sensing the sentiment of this country and the direction that it's heading in. Bad tweet. Terrible tweet. Second tweet, with the protester with the Nikes. He's just trying to wear Nikes so he can outrun the cars that's trying to run him over. So she should understand that. And what was the third tweet? Cattle. Well, I hope she has a prenup because there's no way this marriage is going to last. Like, this guy was enjoying himself. He's playing in the MLS. Unless he somehow ends up getting a better job somewhere, that's the only way this marriage can last. It's like there was an earthquake and the foundation of the house was unsettled, and there's like a rip, and this thing is just going to implode. There's a sinkhole opening up below their marriage. You know?
Yeah, I wrote the story, and I titled the story $1 Million Wife, because he pretty much lost $1 million. He lost over $1 million.
So don't you think he can get a deal somewhere else?
In the middle of pandemic, it's not even open, the transfer window right now. And the season will be prolonged. So for the next 3 months, probably only in Serbia, only at home. But he's not going to get $1.5 million. He can get maybe 100,000, 150,000 max.
Let me see, how old is he?
29.
See, that's like a end of career contract.
It was his best contract of his life, yes. That was the highest he was ever paid.
Yeah, not great, man. Not great. Like, and she's from Yugoslavia?
Yep.
Yeah, you're not. And do you consider Yugoslavia to be kind of racist?
The most racist country in Europe, by far. In terms of incidents on stadiums, they were actually, I think, almost banned from European Championship qualification because of racism at stadiums. They think they were penalized. They had to play without fans.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot of racists throwing bananas, throwing coins at black players, chanting, doing monkey chants. But it's also in Italy, like Serbia, and then Italy is the second one. Pretty racist at some stadiums. I know the Lazio fans were known for that.
Why do you think those countries are so racist? If you don't know, you don't know. But if you have an idea.
I have an idea for Serbia. I don't know why Italy. Completely, I have no clue why Italy. But and Balotelli was talking about it all the time. In Serbia, I think because they are pretty violent in general, and there is no tradition of black people, too many of them living in the country. So they were being treated as casualty. And it happened in Poland in the past too. Like, I remember I was very close friends, the best friends actually from all the media, with the only black player in the history of Polish national team. He was a naturalized Nigerian player, Emmanuel Olisadebe. He even scored a goal at the World Cup 2002, and he won European qualification World Cup qualification for Poland, scoring 8 goals in the qualifications when they advanced to 2002 World Cup. And he was dealing with some abuse, not during the national team games though. He was dealing with abuse during league games. There were bananas thrown at him, but he did a very smart thing, because after the game he said, "Thank you for bananas, I'll eat them." And that kind of, took the power out of those people.
Right. So then they stopped throwing bananas because they didn't want to feed them.
Well, he was also started getting very popular because he scored goals for a national team. So he was accepted eventually.
All right. Well, good for him. Talk to your people in your country and get that racism under control, bro.
It's worse in Serbia for sure, because they didn't have that type of situation with a black player becoming popular. So there definitely is a lot of racism in Serbia.
I'll cross Serbia off my travel list. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not going there. So anyway, I guess that's it. Soccer's coming back soon fully. La Liga starts this week. And a week from now, there's going to be Man United beating the shit out of Spurs. So everybody tune in for that. And it's going to be great. Every team, their players are like refreshed and ready to go. You excited, Martin?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Watching Bundesliga, I mean, I enjoy Bundesliga so far.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot about it.
Yeah.
Like when you first, I've watched like Bayern games before and Dortmund games, but now you're like, understanding the story of the league, and it's kind of dope, man.
Yeah.
And then there's something to like about each team, because especially when you see like, oh, that's an American player or just some young kid that's doing well. I'm like, I got a question, like Hobbits, like, so.
You know that he's going most likely to Man U. That was the latest rumor.
But let me ask you, why 70 mil? How come Werner is going to Chelsea for 40 something? He's a better player. Why is Havertz?
He's considered more talented than Werner by a lot of experts.
Havertz?
Yes. Werner is more of a finished product right now. He's like a proven finished product. But Havertz, in terms of talent, they say he's the most talented. They say that he's the most talented German player. And the second most talented, it's not Werner, it's Brandt from Borussia. He's also getting a lot of buzz. Julian Brandt,
yeah. I've seen Brandt play. He's an amazing playmaker. But the first game he played once football came back, he was amazing. But he hasn't been as good since, but he's still been good. Like, he's got the touch. You know what I mean? He's got the touch for sure. But Dortmund has so many players. They pulled this young 17-year-old Spanish kid off the bench with like an afro. He comes out there. I'm like, can this kid play? But he looks like he has like he almost has like Pepper Reina's hairstyle, you know. And he's like,
but you're not talking about Reina, right?
No. I know Reina. There's another young kid that's like, at least Reina gets in. This kid in the last Dortmund game, he came in like the 78th minute of the game.
Okay. I know. I think I know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
You know.
So, hey, man, Dortmund.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say to close?
Well, you know, MLS is still nobody knows anything, and they start resuming trainings. They say they probably play a tournament in Orlando first, which NBA also, that's the way they want to come back. Listen, you know, like, unfortunately, that's not a positive thought. I mean, the European countries did the whole quarantine better. You know, they won the quarantine. The quarantine, they did better than people in America. So, and sports, unfortunately, suffers from it.
I got to be honest, I'm still worried about England, even though they're training and everything. Like, some of the players messed up so much during quarantine, and now that restrictions are loosening a little bit, like, if they weren't disciplined during quarantine, I'm not sure how disciplined they're going to be now. So hey, players, don't fuck up. We need this season to start, all right? Chill. Don't fuck up, especially on Man U. Like, if Pogba can't play with Fernandes because one of them steps out and does something that they shouldn't do and catches a virus, and that will be so destroying. And just
Aurier, who broke quarantine 3 times as they counted, gives virus to all Man U players.
Kick him out. Kick him out. Like, if somebody's doing that, he's throwing the whole league in jeopardy. Get rid of him.
I saw he was training with the whole team, so.
Oh, Jesus. They need like a probation officer or a cop to follow him home and make like he's in the mob. You know what I mean? Tail that motherfucker. No way he's at every minute.
Yeah.
He doesn't mess things up. Well, all right. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron Brungardt, for being here. Name is Ian Edwards. Tune back in next week. Yeah, you know, we'll just give you more updates, and we'll have some goings on in the La Liga, and there's Bundesliga, and eventually there will be Premier League. Everybody be safe. If you're going to protest, wear your mask, because you don't know what the hell's going on. The government doesn't know. And so I'd rather be safe than sorry. Or don't wear a mask, but definitely be safe. Love you. Peace. One.